Test. Testing. Okay, this is better. So, put this over here. So lose it. Okay. So I bring you back to what chapter is this? Chapter 7 of the Revenge of the Iron-Blooded Sword Hound. So a bit of a recap. This guy right here, he was the hound of one of his clan's lords, and he was the best of their, like, as you could say, guardsmen, right? When he became so powerful that he became a threat to um, his clan's leaders, and so when the dog is too powerful, they have to kind of put him down. And so he's been given a second chance at life to kind of take revenge on those that, you know, built him up, you know, but just to turn on him at the end when he gave them nothing but loyalty. So I forget the character's name, but actually, let me look it up because I don't want to. Let me see. Give me. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay. So this character's name is Vicar Van Baskerville. Um, he's one of the few surviving of his. I guess they would call it a litter for his clan. He's not the main blood. He's essentially like low class in terms of where he ranks in the family. So there are veins of ruby minerals throughout the area. It must be connected to the Red Owl Mountain. I've been saying when I previously was reading this, I've been calling it the Red Owl because I don't know why I call it Red Owl, but um, if I butcher it, then you know don't mind me. Should I put this? I feel like that's too low. That's too high. This is too low. Is that the entrance to the dungeon? Okay, I think we've read this one already. Actually, what chapter is this? This is 7. Okay, but we keep going anyway. The dungeon's interior is bright. It seems like man is imbued into the ruby to emit light. Someone was here before me. These injuries are from stabbings. There are dry brown blood stains. Must have been a while. It doesn't matter what my name is. I'll just call myself Cain. There's no need to dirty this pure white paper with my name. This handwriting is a Baskervilles. Does that mean he's also a Baskerville? I write this so that the future generations do not make the same mistake as I did. That's gotta be Cain. This stone chamber has been talked about within the family as a legend. My brother, Abel, and I coincidentally came across this place, and we raided this dungeon which consisted of countless of trials. We killed many monsters and arrived at this chamber to find the final assignment of this place. That assignment, our feet tied here for a very long time. 3 years. 3 years. Did they want the treasure that bad? Look at his face. He's just unimpressed. He was like, "There's no way. Like the dungeon, the mystery puzzle. This is that hard. It took 3 years. Like it's no way." I need another something to prop this up because I'm like kind of positioned. Let me see. I might have to switch cameras. Does this have a cord? Actually, I do need a cord for this, so I can't switch cameras. Okay. Trying to see what can I prop this up on. It's fine, as is. The final assignment must be in here somewhere. It must be this. When entering, it's 1, but once inside, it's 2. When leaving, it's 1. My brother and I contemplated over this ominous text forever. In the end, we came to a conclusion. My twin brother and I were one in our mother's womb, but when we were given birth to, we were separated into 2. In other words, in order to take this dungeon's treasure, we needed to become 1 again. That meant that only one of us could leave with the treasure. And they killed each other, fighting over the treasure. After a fierce battle, I ended up killing my own brother. After that, there was only 1 left in the stone chamber. Despite that, there was no change. We definitely went from 2 to 1, so why couldn't I take the treasure? I killed my brother. I killed him. After moments of regret, I decided, I'm reading the story, and I don't have the thing up. I have to go back. I'm so engrossed with the story. Let me go all the way back to where we were. See, I can make mistakes. We left off right here. So someone was here before me. Let me see. Multi-stream. Cool. Someone was here before me. These injuries are from stabbings. There are dry brown blood stains. So he's looking at scoping the scene, see what happened, doing some investigation, right? And it's always been there a long time. It doesn't matter what my name is, I'll just call myself Cain. So I'll give you a synopsis of what I read. Cain basically came in here with his brother. I'm telling it as it's going, so it's not a spoiler technically. We're assuming this is Cain, right? Cain came in here with his brother. He and his brother are twins, right? And so it's very crucial to this part of the story. So they were assigned to this dungeon to crack its code and, leave the treasure. And so they got here. You can see that they're stumped. He's on the ground, don't know what to do. He's scratching his head. He's clueless as to how do we, pass this, dip out with the gold or whatever that they're looking for, right? Let's see. They've been there for 3 years. Either the dungeon is super hard and the puzzle is just, you got to be a triple level genius to understand it, or they overthought whatever it is that they were supposed to be looking for in the dungeon. 3 years. Do they want the treasure that bad? And then his face is just his face is just like full of, I don't know what to call it, like unimpressiveness. The final assignment must be in here somewhere. It must be this. See, I would think so too. You come to the inner sanctum of a dungeon. You see a glowing red rock. I would think that that is the treasure, right? When entering, it's one, but once inside, it's two. When leaving, it's one. One thing I do love about like a lot of manga is that they have their own. I don't think theology is the word. They have their own translations, languages. That's where I look for languages, because how you come up with like this type of design for language? Like this is pretty raw. I was trying to see if I could read it myself, because it semi looks like the unknown from Pokemon, but at the same time it does have a lot. It retains its own originality, which I like very very much. My brother and I contemplated over this ominous text forever. In the end, we came to a conclusion. My twin brother and I were in our mother's room, but when we were given birth to, we were separated into two, right? In other words, in order to take this dungeon's treasure, we need to become one again. Now, how the way this riddle is set up, right? Entering it's one, once inside it's two, when leaving it's one. So this is where they messed up, because the first part of this, I wish I could highlight. The first part says when entering it's one, right? And then you go here, they talk about in the womb is two, but like when you go in, you're not. Well, maybe that's too TMI for the. But yeah. But once inside it's two, when leaving it's one. But when you give birth, the odds of you leaving with one is like, it's unpredictable. So I don't think the riddle really applies to this. The last line, when leaving is one, does not make sense when they're comparing it to their own birth. Like they have to been so like high and mighty, or so prideful of themselves that they solely thought the riddle was about them. Which I'm not gonna explain too much. I'm gonna keep reading. I just want you guys to see where it's going with it. Okay. That meant that only one of us could leave with the treasure. And they fought over it. Like, you would kill your brother for a treasure that by the time you take it back to your people, they're gonna use it for themselves. So it makes no sense for you to take the treasure, right? Or him to take it. Y'all could just split it, sold it for cash, whatever. Like, that's gotta be tough, getting killed by your own brother. My question is it the younger brother that's doing it, or is this the older brother? You can't really tell based on like this imagination that they're giving us, this retelling of it. You don't know. All we know is Cain is the one that's telling the story. Despite that, there is no change. And he went mad. Like, he killed his brother over something they've been stuck on for 3 years at that. I think that's what really did it. The fact that they came to a conclusion only after 3 years, they should have just left it alone. Because there's no... there has to be more than one option. If that was the only option that you came to, then you lucked out. We definitely went for 1 and 2. So why couldn't I take the treasure? I killed my own brother. I killed him. After moments of regret, I decided to leave this place. His fingers are dripping blood. Like, I want to tell those who are brave enough to find this place to leave immediately. That there is nothing to obtain from this devil's den that only serves to taunt humans. So in conclusion, they came all the way here after countless challenges, but left with nothing. I didn't have a twin though. He says I don't have a twin though. The assignment is the same despite the fact that I don't have a twin. That means Cain and Abel misinterpreted the text. Severely misinterpreted. And I mean severely misinterpreted the text. When entering it's 1, but once inside it's 2. when leaving its one. What could that mean? Think, there's no dungeon that cannot be beat. I see. Cain and Abel were unlucky. It's because they were two that they could not solve the problem. They were hindered by a fixed idea. A dark passageway and contrastingly bright stone chamber. The answer to this riddle lies in the dungeon. I am one when entering the dark passageway, but as soon as the ruby's light casts a shadow on me, I become two. And when the darkness re-enters, is when the stone chamber's final stage will open. The answer is shadow. He opened up the chamber's secrets. The cause of the two brothers' deaths is this, the relic of the devil's den. Now this looks raw. Only those with Baskerville's blood will be able to take Beelzebub. Beelzebub. That is where it originates from. I recall seeing an illustration of a picture book once during the childhood of my past life. The gluttonous fly, Beelzebub. An unprecedented great monster that invaded this continent in the old legends. The Devil's Holy Constellation, also called the Seven Calamities. In order to stop the seven calamities, the seven families needed heads. In order to stop the seven calamities, the seven families' heads stepped up to take on the Devil's Holy Constellation each. The Devil's Holy Constellation that first Baskerville patriarch fought was gluttony, Beelzebub. The remnants of Beelzebub were stored in the lands of Baskerville, and Beelzebub's demonic energy was said to have lured monsters to an old legend no one believes now. However, that legend was true, and this blade was taken later by the demon clans. This resulted in countless of deaths among humans on the battlefield, but that won't happen in this life, because it's mine now. It just went inside him like that little alien from Parasite. His blood black now, huh?
Yeah. What you reading?
Revenge of the Iron-Blooded Sword Hound.
The Iron-Blooded Sword Hound?
A blade made from the corpse of Devil's Holy Constellation. This is Beelzebub.
I lucked out to reach the Beelzebub.
Kobe.
What? I can't help you read? They'll even hear.
Anyways, I looked out to have received the Beelzebub. I wondered how much stronger I'll be in this life. I'm excited to find out. Thus ends chapter 7, and we're going to chapter 2. I said chapter 2. Chapter 8. It's been a long day. It doesn't look like there's anything else for me to obtain. I guess I will head back. Huh? What the hell? I'm dizzy? No, I'm hungry? Are you asking for something to eat? Such voracious hunger is wringing the inside of my stomach. Did my sense of smell get heightened because of it? I think I smell something delicious. There's something to eat over there. This is the corpse of the hellhound I killed earlier. Since I've absorbing the blood through Beelzebub, I can feel my insides reverting back to normal. I guess it's been starving for a long time. I hope Le Rouge et Le Noir Mountain. Oh, another thing. I've been calling this Crimson Mountain. 'Cause I don't know why they pronounced it or spelled it like this, but Rouge and Noir. Rouge is red and Noir is black. When we put the two together, it becomes crimson. So I think that's more appropriate, or it's more sound than Le Rouge et Le Noir. Because I think they mentioned this a lot in the chapter. Now it's just a heavy tongue twister. Isn't due to Beelzebub's ludicrous hunger. How much am I going to have to feed it in order to console this bastard's binge eating disorder? Beelzebub, glutton of flies. First slot, hemorrhage hound. Is this Beelzebub's inherent ability? Beelzebub, the glutton of flies, is said to absorb the power to absorb the opponent's skills into its own. Since the absorption amount was nearly infinite, countless people are said to have lost their abilities and turned obsolete. But due to it being hazardous, I can only steal up to 3 abilities now. My bad. Man, I just had a seafood boil and it was delicious. That's all I can say. Delicious. The Hellhound's hemorrhage, a skill that constantly pumps out the blood of the opponent even through the smallest of wounds. If I can steal abilities... What? Can you devour all of it? If it's too damaged, I won't be able to explain it during the autopsy. Enough. First slot, burn injury Cerberus. Second slot, hemorrhage Hellhound. Third slot, high speed regeneration Norvegicus sewer rats. High speed regeneration. I guess it consumed the sewer rat that was crushed underneath the Cerberus. It's a great achievement to have the burn injury skill from Cerberus. Since thermology is one of the worst pains a human could experience, it'll be much worse than Hellhound's hemorrhage. Now that we're done preparing the monster to submit for the practical exam, why don't we wait here until it's over? The young hounds whose practical examinations were completed returned to Baskerville. Their respective evaluations followed suit, and the young hounds received a sword, shield, or necklace as their reward. This is a lot of stuff. One looks like a giant crocodile, a giant ant. I don't know what this is, a bear hand? And then, isn't this, what's Ash's new fossil Pokemon called? That's what it looks like to me. Like they killed Ash's little dino. As their reward, produced from parts of the monsters they hunted during the practical exams, and one of the monsters that a young hound had hunted, astonished the Baskervilles who were present. Who caught what? Master Vicar von Baskerville, from the 8-year-old class, accidentally crossed over to the restricted area during the practical exam, and hunted the Cerberus of the A-Risk ranking. The Cerberus is a high-ranking monster even the family's guardian knights tend to avoid. It was stated that the monster was wounded by the barbarian tribe. On top of that, he applied poison over his wooden spear. What kind of poison is lethal enough to kill the Cerberus? And how was that bastard able to obtain it? Well, there is nothing more that's reported in the hunting journal. I didn't mean to ask the young master, but he returned to his dorm without stating he was quite tired. That little brat is sly. Alright, I'm reading over words. That little brat is already so sly. Well, information is power, and power is your worth. Truthfully, I was shocked to think a master named Van and not Lay or La would be so talented. I guess you don't know, Butler. Pardon? I'm not the previous patriarchs. When I raise a hound, I don't discriminate based on the bloodline. It doesn't matter whether they come from a line of royals or whores, as long as they have enough talent and spite. Hold on, let me reread that. Let me read that one time. It doesn't matter whether they come from a line of royals or whores, as long as they have enough talent and spite. He's saying that he doesn't care about your background. He doesn't discriminate when it comes to training and putting all of his resources into someone that can prove themselves to their own ability. Now, that's one of the many skills that you gotta have to be a leader. You gotta make tough calls, tough decisions. Some leaders lean more towards nepotism. Other leaders lean more towards skills and experience. And hey, it's just two sides of the same coin, or two sides of the coin. That also means that there can be much coming from royal bloodlines. Do you understand? Is he concerned about his second son who's preparing for isolation training? Apologies. It's alright, but I will need a mood booster. I'll summon Master Vigor. I heard the Cerberus during your practical. Look at his face, bro. He's so smug. He like, I know what you're here for. How did you do that? I put chocolate on my wooden spear. Chocolate? For canned monsters, chocolate is a lethal poison. Oh, is that why you asked for chocolate before? Yes. They're getting right into the topic without so much as a greeting. Is this really a conversation between a father and his son? I heard you did not respond properly when the butler questioned you about the hunt. Why is that? It is because he is not my master. Then who is your master? Since I belong to the clan, the master of the clan is my master as well. You've learned well. As a reward, the corpse of the monster you hunted will solely belong to you. Additionally, if you have a wish, I will grant it as you scored the highest. Yes, finally, I'll be able to get what I want with that. I would like to gain access to the 10,000 Epistle Library. The 10,000 Epistle Library is one of the largest libraries in the Empire that is located deep within the heart of the Baskerville clan. The 10,000 Epistle Library, huh? Are you aware that only Patriarch and the second in command, along with their direct descendants, are allowed to access it? If it is not permitted, I will give up. You may enter. Make sure you read the Baskerville 6 technique, which is located within the 6th district, which is located within the 6th restricted zone deep inside the library. The Hugo I know is only going to allow a backside kid to read the Baskerville 6 technique. There has never been a case that an illegitimate child with the middle name Van was allowed to go past the 4th technique. No need to be shaken though, it's only the 6th technique. Hugo's current cultivation level is the Baskerville 7th technique. Before my regression, he was able to bear 9 of his fangs. This sword has like a weird design to it. I don't dislike it, but the way that it's made, I believe it probably suit more people who are speed attackers, like flash steps and all that. Don't get me wrong, it's a clean blade. But in terms of practicality, I just don't see this using it against like a heavy handed opponent, or like if they use like a heavy sword or a great sword, right? I think you probably parry with this at best, and then get some like quick jabs in. Before my regression, he was able to bear 9 of his fangs. I haven't forgot about the discrimination as an illegitimate child. In this lifetime, I will surpass Hugo, because I will attain the greatest essence of Baskerville, the textbook of swordsmanship, containing the teachings of the first patriarch who was able to subjugate the 7 great disasters. Who's going to give that to me? Hugo Le Baskerville. You will be the one to hand it over to me. I look forward to it. Good luck. Thank you. I'll be sure to surpass your expectations. See that glare, bro? That glare is gonna get him caught up. You don't even realize the true value of the random book you will hand over to me. But I feel like when he made his decision for the library, he should not have requested it right away. He should have been like, let me think upon it, and then I will come back to you with the answer, you know. And then, you know, just stroll around, generate some ideas, some fake pump, you know, fake pump a little bit. Because I feel like later down the line, and I even though I've read some of this already, it's been a while since I have read it, so now I'm going back to like speculation a bit. Even though he's, you know, 8, right? We're going to 9. Even though he just outright asked for it, I feel like later down the line, the Hugo, right? He's gonna be, maybe he comes across some information regarding to the book he read and be like, "What do you know about this?" And how you gonna cover your ass because you was one of the few that had access to information aside from the direct descendants and the patriarchs. Now their uniforms, I actually pretty clean. Like that's drip right there. And normally I don't really care for like the shoulder capes because as many as I've seen, they've always been in white. But the way that they've designed this, like the belt, the jacket, and then this cape has a leather thing clipped to the like inner chest. So I don't know, it might have some versatile uses for it. Like you had a pew pew in there, you know. Let me see. The 10,000 Epistle Library. It's my first time coming here in person. Severing incisors, grinding molars, piercing canines, snaggletooth that embeds twice, wisdom teeth that lay down, books about swordsmanship. The books on swordsmanship that I desperately wanted to learn in my past life are all here. No matter how much man an illegitimate child of Baskerville had, they hadn't or they can't learn any swordsmanship that is superior to the fourth technique. In order to ensure that the children who become hounds don't bare their teeth towards their master, the Baskerville family implemented this as a defense mechanism. Is this it? But to think that Hugo would offer me the swordsmanship book on the sixth technique. If it was before I regressed, I never would have dreamt of this. Well, of course Hugo allowed this, thinking that an 8-year-old child wouldn't be able to memorize this in a day. But before my regression, I learned the theory behind the 1/4 technique until I got sick of it. It was to deduce and speculate the theory of the 5th technique. After drawing the 4th tooth, I need to have stopped the flow of mana. Is that why I couldn't make the 5th tooth? Baskerville swordsmanship. Depending on the stage of the sword, it's 1 tooth for the first technique, 2 for the second, and so on. So each tooth represents a sword style, I believe, or sword technique. And once you master that technique, you move on to the next level, and so on. So you have like, I guess once you learn all of it, you now have a full set of teeth at your disposal to literally bite your enemies. When you draw teeth, a special trait, a red sword energy appears. Okay, so this is probably akin to like sword aura, right? Whereas sword aura and like magic itself, it's kind of like two sides of the same coin. I know I use that reference a lot. You'll probably hear it, but magic pulls phenomena from the world, rewrite it into something that's usable for the wizard, magician, or mage, right? Aura is, it can be labeled as key or still magic, right? It can be either or. If it's key though, let's use key for this scenario. Key is channeled from the internal energy of the person, and the more you train that inner energy, the more you can grow it. Like think Sakura when she was learning how to heal, and Lady Sadia was like, you need to increase your chakra pool, right? So if you increase your ki pool, you have more energy to spare or to spend really when it comes to fighting, conservation, all type of stuff. So like key users, they have, well, okay, both key users and mage live very long lives, but the difference is, right, mages live longer due to the magic. It prolongs their life, but they still end up looking older because magic is still essence of life itself. It may prolong it, but it just delays it, right? Key users, their essence, That's not only prolong their life, but it has them looking younger as well because they're active and fit and they're maintaining that energy. Sometimes they suspend it to keep them at the age that they want to look for an indefinite amount of time. Um, the only downside is that once you run out of that energy, or it's like a candle, or you got to keep that candle lit because once you blow it out, it's gone. It's gone. You can't fight no more. Like Gon, when he went up against I forgot what that Chimera Ant girl. I forgot her name. And then he used up all his Nen energy, right? He was left with a curse, and then once Killua's sister or Alika dispelled that curse, he was left with no Nen energy whatsoever. So it's in a sense it's like that. I don't care about the 6 technique. Just the real reason why I came to the 10,000 S pistol library is different. A stage I desire that's higher than that. Huh? Young Master Vicar, you came out already? Swordsmanship books and other books are deep within the library. If you've forgotten something, we can get it for you. I finished what I came here for. Already? Why don't you stay here longer and look around? Before I leave, I'm thinking of reading other books, so don't worry about me and do what you need to do. That place is filled with miscellaneous books. If it was me, I would read about the textbooks on swordsmanship that are deep within the library. Does he not know they are worth because he's young? I'll leave them to their thoughts. Since they don't know that among the dusty, miscellaneous books, there lies a hidden treasure. Huh? I found it. A lurking ambush. I'm sure this is the book. The book on the basics of the first technique that the Baskerville children don't read. Due to the ripped pages, it's a useless miscellaneous book. But I know the true worth of this book. Before my regression in the hound squad that I was affiliated to, I found a strange relic in the dungeon that was on the border of the Crimson Mountain. See, I told you, you're gonna see that mountain come up a lot. It was a rare page from a swordsmanship textbook. It was a single ripped page. A page with Baskerville's handwriting written on the page. Hugo, who found this remarkable, goes to the whole library trying to find the book that matched the page. The swordsmanship book, A Lurking Ambush. In this book, where the Baskerville ancestor wrote in, there's a Baskerville 10th technique written in it. Hugo, who had gone crazy for the 10th technique, released the hounds and found the remaining 6 pages that the technique written on them. Hugo, who then found out that the remaining pages were hidden in the 7 great families, declared war on the other families and sent those hounds to those who had refused. After the sacrifice of so many hounds, all the missing pages were given to Hugo. And the reward for doing all that? Good job. It was a stupid life. That was his betrayal right there. So you see it. The thing that ended up killing Vicar was following Hugo's command. And I don't know, in terms of like getting isekai'd or relifed or trying to do over a certain point because things didn't work out that well. Vigor's situation is very unique because other protagonists, they have the option, if they do go back, they can have a completely other life as like a chef, a traveler, an alchemist, a pharmacist, right? They can have a completely different life. Yet Vigor, he's kind of born into life already. Like, he has no escape from it. He has to survive until he can, depart from them and live his life. So, it was a stupid life. Because of that, Hugo broke through the 7th technique and achieved the 9th technique. And under him was a wasted pile of hound corpses and blood. That won't happen in this life. The hound that reclaimed all those pages was me. I remember all the contents that were written on those pages. And the reason why I couldn't go beyond the 4th technique was because I had no access to the original book. The first step of the 10th technique is similar to the first one. When you unsheath your sword, draw the first path, and show aggression, that's when the sword exceeds its natural limit. So, if other people read this book, it really does seem like a miscellaneous book that doesn't make any sense. But the moment you use the missing pages and fill in the blanks, the false and misleading information turns into an amazing masterpiece of a book. I reached the highest level of graduated aura, and the highest level of the fourth technique before I regressed. Before I turned 15, I need to reclaim the power I had before I regressed. Bro, he was there from sundown to sunup. This is enough. Did I focus for the whole day? Thanks to that, I was able to memorize the book's contents from start to end too. I don't feel the presence of the guardian knights. I can't draw 10 teeth with a young body, but if it was now, I won't be able to achieve the fifth technique that I was able to reach in my previous life. Baskerville, first technique, second technique, third technique, fourth technique. My previous life was pathetic. After my hard work, I was able to attain the highest level of graduator aura, but I wasn't able to learn a suitable sword technique, so the people of the direct bloodline were hostile towards me. There was one reason as to why I couldn't go past the stage of the fifth technique. It was because I was born as an illegitimate child. Do you think I'll live that life again? Yo, he wants this man head for real. I like that move when they be using their hand as like a blade. I want to see more of that. Like, I need one character, maybe a side character that's their fighting style. Like, they have a sword, but it's like, no, that'd be too easy. I'm gonna use my hand. It's still weak, but was I able to draw the fifth tooth? But he happy as hell, bro. Like, he's been stuck. He's hit a plateau. He done broke the plateau, and now he like, I'm on my way to get my revenge. Like, it's up for y'all, because you should never did what you did. But guess what? If history repeats itself, that's good, because he ain't got to feel sorry about taking him out. It felt like something hot from deep within my heart emerged and shot up to my neck. Vicar was happy at the fact that he could do the fifth technique to the point he could cry. Is there a sword here? At a record-breaking speed in Baskerville's history, a young hound's canine teeth bared towards his fang. I butchered that whole thing. A young hound's canine teeth bared towards his master were growing. So these are this. So this is the comparison of like mages and swordsmen. I'm a bit biased to mages though, because I feel like what they learn is a bit higher than what swordsmen learn. But in the same token, swordsmen have to train their body, so they endure a lot physically, versus mages have to memorize a lot of stuff, do a lot of studying. Sometimes they figure shit out by luck, by sheer luck, and that's how they develop too. So 50-50 though. What y'all think? Should I do one more? I did what, 6, 7? Yeah, it is 9. This 9. So yeah, we did 3 chapters today. 7. We did 3. No rush. Remember, every Monday is gonna be manga, manhwa Mondays. This is a manhwa, I believe. So again, this is Revenge of the Iron Blooded Sword Hound. Go back to the top so I can see the artwork. Yeah, this is Revenge of the Iron Blooded Sword Hound. Tune in next Monday if you want to see more of me read different anime. So I might read another chapter from this one, and then I'll try to switch over to another one, just to keep things rolling and something fresh every now and then. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the manhwa night. This has been Jerozy, and I am out. I actually will game a bit for a bit. Let me see. Let's see what time is it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna game for a bit. What was Monday? I guess I'll see if Noah's on. If he's on, then we'll duel. But yeah, so if you can follow me on all socials. my Twitter. I just posted the links to all my socials on Linktree. So you click that. That's where I am on all platforms. I think the only one missing right now is Trovo, and I haven't really set up my platform that much. But yeah, just look out for your boy Drosy coming up. Peace.